Speaking about meeting KSI, making him a lord, how do you collaborate with mega YouTube creators like him?
With KSI specifically, I felt like I'd made something that really was perfect for his audience, was perfect for him. Sometimes the videos that you think are going to be the big banging, this is going to go viral video, don't necessarily always hit that mark. I heard someone say this recently, I can't remember who it was, but could you imagine someone sending this video to their group chat or to their mates and be like, oh my god, have you seen this, what this person did? Have you seen this video that someone's uploaded? And that's the sort of style that I want to go for. But my goal is to be a full-time YouTuber. That is what I want to do at some point.
Hello everyone, today we have with us one of the most relentlessly funny creators on YouTube, one of my favorites, Liam Bedford. Liam, welcome to the Fireside Chats.
Hello, thank you for having me, and thank you for saying that I'm a funny YouTuber. I think that's the first person who said that.
And of course, relentlessly funny because you keep at it, right? I mean, that's one of your trademarks of your content. You go out there on the streets, you interact with people. It's so scary for most of the people, right? So let's begin from there. Have you always been like this extroverted, outgoing? Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, no, not at all. To be honest, straight away, like I still think I am quite a shy person and quite introverted in general. I think when I'm filming with a camera and I have a microphone in my hand, I feel like they're almost a shield a little bit. So as soon as I've got the shield in my hand, I kind of am able to express like a more like a version of myself that's a little bit more animated, right? I'm not like what I'm on camera 100% of the time here, just mainly when I'm with my friends or if I'm in a good mood, right? So yeah, when the camera's on, I manage to switch on a little bit. And I have periods as well. Like I actually think I was probably better at doing stuff in front of camera 2 years ago than I am now. So I'm now trying to
really
confidence up.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of like it goes up and down. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've fully worked out yet how to keep myself in a way that I can be like game face on when I'm filming. Some days you're not up for it, you know. So it's an interesting one.
Amazing. And your ideas on your YouTube channel that you put, you're sneaking fake waxworks inside Madame Tussauds. You're challenging other YouTubers to amazing, very wacky games, competitions. So tell us, how do you come up with these weird, wonderful and wacky ideas, in your own words, for your YouTube channel?
It normally starts with inspiration. I'm a massive YouTube fan, just like flat out, and I always have been. I've been watching YouTube videos since literally 2007, so not long after the website wasn't even what YouTube is nowadays, right? And I was 12 years old or so watching creators, and I've always watched YouTube over TV and film. So I've just watched a lot of YouTube, and I like taking different parts from different YouTubers and seeing a YouTuber do something crazy and then going, well, how can I do that but differently? So with the waxwork one, that's like me watching a Nicola Milana person going, oh, I'm going to sneak a painting next to the Mona Lisa, and then I can go, okay, well, how can I do something like that? Who's the target? And then breaking it down that way.
Right.
But yeah, it's normally a brainstorm that could come from going for a walk or going for a swim, or annoyingly just before you go to bed, and then you go, oh, I need to write that down quickly now because that's quite a good one. But it's quite sporadic. It's not, there's not like a massive process to it. I think it's just taking inspiration and also just doing stuff that interests me, doing stuff that I would like to watch on YouTube. And as I said, I watch a lot, so if I think I would like the video, then that's probably a good start.
Yeah. And your series, I traded a paperclip for a house in London, right? Yeah. There are 5 to 6 episodes, and I watched every single second of it. In the 4th episode, you got, like free tickets for multiple events, including Madame Tussauds. And you in your own words, you said that, these could come in handy. Who knows? And cut to 2 years, you actually, used Madame Tussauds for your content. Not Madame Tussauds, her museum, of course. So please tell us about that story, because a lot of people may not know about, what we're talking about when I said, sneaking fake waxworks. So yeah. Please tell us that story. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting, I didn't even put two and two together there, that I almost probably spoke that into existence without actually realizing.
Yeah,
So maybe there's
Providence.
something there. But basically, I created a 3 foot waxwork, which was actually a 3D printing of Hasbulla's head on a child mannequin, and it was done very much on a budget because I don't have the thousands some YouTubers had, and managed to make a waxwork for a few £100. Got it painted, made it what I thought was actually a very good looking figure, probably not waxwork quality, but just good enough. And then had the intent of sneaking the waxwork into the museum and putting it alongside the royal family and sports stars, and thought it'd be funny to get it in there and try and see if I could convince the public that this was actually real property of the museum. So to sneak it in, I put it in a bag that was just about big enough to fit it in there, and covered it in sanitary products, knowing that the security would be like, well, I ain't going near that because it's predominantly older men. And they were like, so they just stared at it and they were like, yeah, you can go through.
That was a cool move, yeah.
Yeah, my friend told me that his girlfriend does that when she goes to the cinema, so she can sneak sweets and stuff in. So I took inspiration, but just took it a little bit further, and yeah, managed to get it into the building, managed to put it together, and it got to the stage where people, the general public, tourists, were taking photos with this waxwork figure as if it was a real one, right up until the point where the security. And I still can't believe we caught it on camera, them saying it, but the security was saying, I wasn't aware we had Hasbulla here. And they believed it themselves. So it was a successful mission, so much so that I even managed to get him back out of the museum without getting caught. So I was pretty happy. I don't think I'll ever be able to take my future family to Madame Tussauds. I think that maybe where my face is on the wall. But a successful mission for sure.
Wonderful. Why did you choose Hasbulla?
To be brutally honest, number one, because it's easier to sneak Hasbulla in than it would have been a 6 foot celebrity.
Yeah.
But,
should look alike, yeah.
Yeah, but second of all, he was just like, it was just at a time where I just couldn't go 2 seconds without seeing him online somewhere. I deemed him the king of the internet. And I thought it was only rightful that the king of the internet had made it into alongside all the other celebrities. So that was my thinking at the time. But yeah, it did help that he was 3 foot and not 6.
Yeah, amazing. So speaking about ideas again, you said that, they come anytime you write them down. And I mean, it's like, a revelation, right? When the ideas come to you. But how do you, because you must have, many ideas, right? Before executing one of them. So what are the traits of, YouTube worthy ideas?
Oh God, it's the $1 million question, really. I still feel like I need to fully understand that, because having conversations with other people recently, I feel like sometimes the videos that you think are going to be the big banging, this is going to go viral video, don't necessarily always hit that mark. And sometimes the videos you're unsure of and you didn't put as much planning into the process of it, sometimes those will be the ones that take off, right? So sometimes it is a bit of a minefield. But for me, I think it's easier because, as I said earlier, I go off my sort of, would I sit and watch this video? Would I enjoy this video? Because I know that I'm a fan of the content myself. But I heard someone say this recently, I can't remember who it was, but a good judgment and sort of thing that I'm trying to go for as well is, could you imagine someone sending this video to their group chat or to their mates and be like, oh my God, have you seen this, what this person did? Have you seen this video that someone's uploaded? And that's the sort of style that I want to go for, because I want to try and create videos that are like viral sort of concepts, right? So the idea of someone saying, sitting in a pub with a friend and going, did you see that guy who snuck the waxwork into Madame Tussauds? Or did he? And I'm kind of going for that. So putting myself in that own, in that sort of scenario and going, would I watch this video? Would I tell someone else about this video? And if I was to tell someone else about this video, would they find it as funny as I did? And
right.
That's a good benchmark to know whether it's a video that people want to see.
Of course. And, in the last 3 years, you have grown your, channel over 1,000 times. It's like remarkable where you are right now. So can you give us any insights into, let's say, again, to put a number, top 3 learnings in terms of growth on your channel?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably been 3 main occasions for my growth as well. So I wouldn't follow it as a 3-step plan directly from me. But what I can say is that the first big growth was the stuff that I did with KSI. So it was about picking out a creator and giving something to them that made them want to shout about it. And I know Eric, the YouTuber, talks about that a lot. It's about what can you offer the other creator, right? Because trend jacking, trend hopping, whatever you want to call it, is such a big thing on YouTube, especially when you're a small creator. So I wanted to see if I could tap into an audience that already existed somewhere else, and that did really well for me. When I first did it, I went from like basically 1,000 subscribers to around 15 to 20,000 in the space of a few weeks. And then you go, right, I've got this core audience now. So what do I do with this audience to make sure they stay? And that's an easier thing. It's like easier thing that's said than done, you know. One of the big growth things at the moment that I would be recommending to people is short form content. I heard people going on about short form content for the last few months, or like last half a year. I ignored them. I don't want to do that. I want to make full length videos. And then I had a few videos that got millions of views at the start of the year on shorts. And I go, okay, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Right.
And that's taken my subscribers anyway to a whole nother level. And it's definitely something that I would recommend. I think as long as you find the line between, I'm not making 2 completely separate different types of content. My short content backs up what I'm doing on my main channel. So hopefully the audience should stay there as one place. So what's that? We've got 2. We've got trend jacking, we've got short form content. And the third and probably the most important one for me is only do it if you're enjoying it, right? And there's no point creating content because you want to go viral for the sake of it. You want to make money. Whatever the reasons you may do it. The reason first that I started a YouTube channel was because when I was younger, I had one. I got bullied out of it at school. And now I'm like, no, I wanted to make a YouTube channel because I love YouTube. And that was the only interest I had, was just uploading videos, making my friends and family laugh. And then it goes from there. And that's the reason I still love it, because I don't look at it and take it as seriously as I probably should. But it's there for me at first, you know. It's the channel that I want to watch in 20 years' time, look back on all the stuff that I've done, you know. And yeah, I will create stuff that will be able to reach a bigger audience, hopefully. But the main person to enjoy it at first is me, and that's what I think is important.
It's amazing. Speaking about meeting KSI, making him a lord, and meeting him sort of, there were some moments in between when you couldn't meet him, but then KSI again showed big heart, and then he came along. So I mean, how do you collaborate with big, mega YouTube creators like him? Because everyone, let's say, is maybe not everyone, but let's say 100 other creators like you would be, trying to get in touch with them, going to collaborate, make some content. So how are you able to, crack it?
Yeah. I mean, it's the sort of thing where it's like, if you told me before it happened, I'd have been like, does anyone know the answer? Because I want to know it, right? And I think there is elements of luck in there. Like, I do think that is a thing. So it'd be silly for me to not think that is a thing. Right place, right time. But also, like with KSI specifically, I felt like I'd made something that really was perfect for his audience, was perfect for him. It played to his ego, not in a negative way, just it played the whole character of KSI. It was just a really fun video that I almost felt like he gave him no choice to react to it by that point, and I think that's what you want to try and get out of it. You want to go, this video is going to be so good and it's going to be something that you want to talk about, that you will do it. And especially with the musical, when it came to the musical, I was like, I'm just going to make this as cool as it can be and as good as it can be, and think we created like a really, really good bit of content, to the fact that like I didn't even have to ask him to react to that. I just thought it's going to happen at some point, and it did eventually down the line. So I think it is just about, because I had no previous contact with any of the sidemen at all, as much as I would love to when I was 5 years ago when I was starting, but I managed to kind of make my way and put my stuff in front of them just because I think it was good content, you know, and it was stuff that they would want to see and would want to react to. So I don't know if that's even an answer.
I mean, we all saw the video, and it was just amazing how you documented, all the highs and the lows of that journey. It's just amazing. But tell us, why KSI? What is so special about KSI that you chose him? You made him a lord. You created a, song for him. Why KSI?
I guess because, like a lot of people, I grew up watching KSI. He's not much older than me, to be fair.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. He must be only like 3 years older than me. But when he was uploading videos and I was 15 years old and really into YouTube at this point again, still, he was the guy, and he was entertaining. And I've watched this man go from that FIFA YouTuber that I was watching at 15 years old to being one of the most famous people in the country, full stop, in whatever he goes on to do, right? And there were probably other creators that it could have gone just as well as, whether it was KSI or whether it was an American YouTuber, or it was Mr. Beast or whatever it was. But it made sense because I followed the whole journey with KSI, and I wanted to do something for him. I watch all his videos. I see all the subreddit stuff that he was doing and the community he built, and I don't know, it just felt right at the time, to be honest. And I'm glad that I did go with KSI because it worked well. But that's when I met him, and I got to do the interview, and I was very game face on, and I was talking about the video and asked everything I wanted. And then just at the end, off script, I just had to tell him, like, by the way, I've been watching you for like 10 to 15 years. Like, this is so cool to meet you, and I'm sure you hear it all the time, but like, I just wanted to acknowledge that because it was like I dealt with the situation well, and it was cool to meet him, but inside I was a little bit like, this is mental, like, this is crazy that this has happened. So yeah, and I've only seen him once since in person, and it was nice to shake his hand and say hello again. But yeah, he's just a really, really cool guy, so very happy with how that went.
Wonderful. So speaking about your channel, what's your long-term vision with it?
So this is the first full year that I have fully gone freelance. So the whole time that I've been doing YouTube, I've been working a full-time job in a creative industry. But for now, it's like, this is the time to go for it. I still do freelance work alongside that to support being able to do it. But my long-term plan at the moment is just to still have a goal with it and not get too far ahead of myself. I wanted to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I did that quicker than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, much quicker.
So that was my goal in terms of like the vanity, the numbers and stuff. So now I can kind of feel like it doesn't matter where I end up with that at the end of the year now, because I've already exceeded what I wanted to. But my goal is to be a full-time YouTuber. That is what I want to do at some point. And I don't think I'm a massive risk taker. I think I've just started to try and do it a little bit, but I probably, and other people probably have, in the situation that I am in with the community I've built and the channel I've built, probably have gone full-time a lot quicker than I have. But I want to lay down some solid foundations before I'm actually like, now that's it, I'm going for it full-time. So at the moment, my plan is try and upload as much as I can. I'm not doing very well at that at the moment because it's been 2 months and there's still not a video uploaded, but I've got 5 videos in the work at the moment, and my priority is just making those videos and then onto the next one. And I don't want to think too far ahead and put too much pressure on myself.
Right.
And then I could be disappointed, right? But another musical this year is the big thing that I'm working on at the moment. It's already sounding really cool.
Can you reveal the name?
No, I don't think I can. I can say that it's on another YouTuber.
Okay.
I can say that myself and Ben Chipolla, who wrote the first one with me, and he did all the music.
Right.
This time round, we've not been locked in our house because of something that's going around. So we've been able to meet in person, write the music together, and I'm really excited for it. But yeah, I'm not gonna do the big reveal just yet. But hopefully it will be out there soonish in terms of when we will reveal the name.
Okay, we wish you all the best with your second outing. Speaking of outings, I find, the act of conversation very fascinating. And when you open up a conversation with somebody who's like practically a stranger, right? When you're on the street. So how do you know like which person to, approach? And, it's like we see you, meeting like 100 people on video, right? But there must be others who did not come on camera. How do you know what to talk about with someone and who to choose?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because obviously I have shown it in videos before, but you don't see the 20, 30 people in between each person that says no.
Yeah.
So for a start, you have to be prepared for a lot of no's, and no's are fine. The ones when people walk past you and don't say a word hurts a little bit because you're like, at least acknowledge that I am standing here, but that's fine. No one has to say anything. But you do start to work out who is interested on being on camera. If they're curious for a start, just by even seeing the camera, normally a good sign that they're more likely to. What I like to try and do is get an absolute wide range of age and everything, right? And diversity, anything. But you do sometimes assume that the 80-year-old man who's walking past me is probably not going to care, right? And that is what I've come to find a little bit, that normally the people who really want to be on camera are the younger people, don't really like. I probably have by accident filmed with people who are 17, 16 or whatever, but normally I'm trying to go for like 20s upwards because it just feels, I don't know, something about it just feels a bit weird. But you can tell just by the way they look at the camera, by the way that they walk towards you. If they've got their headphones on, don't bother them. Don't bother them. And you pick it up pretty quickly, and you normally get into a routine. First 10 minutes, you'll go, "Oh God, like no one is biting at all. What am I going to do? Like, how are we going to film this video?" And then you get one, and then someone sees that you're filming, and then they start to linger, and then they come on, and then it almost just feels like a chain from that point. So yeah, I don't think I've fully mastered it yet, but I think you start to work it out a little bit.
Right, and I mean, to talk about mental health at this point, because rejection is a big part of what you do. How do you handle that? Because you're excited about one idea, you're shooting it, right? But at some point the rejection is weighing you down, and your energy levels are low. How do you keep at it? How do you maintain yourself? Because that's why I called you relentlessly funny guy, because you keep at it. That you're putting in a conscious effort to be there. How do you do that? That's so fascinating about you.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and I appreciate you saying that because I sometimes don't think that myself, really. I've been quite open about it a lot on podcasts, on my channel, on whatever it is. Like I've had struggles with mental health quite a lot, and I'm quite an up and down person. So some weeks I could be filming videos and it would be literally not a problem at all, and some I won't go and film. And the honest and brutal answer is that the reason we probably don't see that on camera is probably because I've not chosen to go out and film then, and it's more so that's when I'll be here either editing or not, just existing, you know.
Right.
I think it's important to just like put yourself in this when you can deal with it, and when you're in the mental space to do it is when I do it, right? So yeah, I'm glad that you see it that way, but I do still feel like it's something that I'm trying to work out. I've been on camera in the last few weeks, and I've actually found myself being too overwhelmed about it and stopped filming. So obviously I don't show all of that on my channel, but I think it's important to say that it's not like I'm 110% going for it, creating videos all the time. If I was, maybe I would have uploaded the video this year. But yeah, no, I definitely struggle with it for sure. I think I felt more pressure with my channel the more subscribers I've got, which makes sense. But
Yeah.
maybe that period when I was in 1,000 to, well, the first period when it was like all exciting and new was probably when I was most like, let's get out and go and do it. And then actually after a little while, I was like, what if people don't want to watch this? Or
Yeah.
and you start overthinking everything, and then that's when I'm like, well, I just don't end up filming a video at all. So yeah, that's probably what I'd say. I guess it's just, I think the actual reality is that you don't fully always see the every side of Liam Bedford on my channel. I do try to show it, but if there's not a video up, there's a chance that there's a reason, you know. I may be struggling with something or whatever it is, you know.
Absolutely. I mean, you're very transparent in your videos anyway. Of course, the editing is there, and it's a part of fun, I would say. But yeah, we all have our lives outside YouTube. One of the things that we ask our guests on this show is how much they earn through social media. So since you're a YouTube creator, how much have you earned so far? How much you're earning? We ask this for the creators who are starting on their journey, because this is a major chunk of where your mind is. So please, if you can tell us.
Yeah, of course. I've been pretty transparent about this as well before. Like, I don't even know if people would see the amount I've earned and think that was a lot or actually really low. I mean, obviously, just for context, when I was 15 years old and I saw someone who had 130,000 subscribers, which I've got right now, I was expecting them to see them in a Ferrari and a mansion, right? I just want to clarify, I'm very far away from that. I think, I mean, just off the top of my head, probably in the last like 2.5 years, I've probably earned like up to £4,000, maybe. So
Okay.
like, it's not something that you can live off, you know. This is the reason I had a job, and this is the reason I was working full time. And yeah, it's a really nice amount to come in, but also I've basically put every single penny of that back into my channel as well, you know, because I was never doing it for the money. And it would be nice to get to a stage where I'm earning enough to call it my full time job, and I still work a little bit with getting people to film for me, and I'll buy them a coffee or a drink instead of paying them a day rate because they just want to help me, right? But that's where I'm at the moment. I can't justify to spend loads on it. I still edit all my own videos. So yeah, obviously I've had a couple of big videos, and when I've had the big videos, that's when the money's come in. And with the shorts fund coming in recently, I started to notice like a couple of £100 here and there every month, you know. But yeah, it's not life-changing money. It's not something to turn away from. But I think that's the reality of when you're starting off. It's a very congested market on YouTube, and everyone's doing it. And I think you're only going to really start noticing the results when you're either uploading regularly and you're getting a high amount of views, or if you're getting millions and millions of views on a video, right?
Right.
And I think the consistency is the one for me. That's the big one. So I probably could have cashed in earlier when the KSI stuff was happening. I probably could have made videos of me reacting and doing all of this sort of stuff, right? But it wasn't about that for me. It was more so just like, I want to make sick videos and I hope people enjoy it. So yeah, not life-changing money at the moment, but going in the right direction for sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. And one of the best things that I like about your videos is that they feel like fun all the time, not work at all. It's like you're having fun, relentless fun. And I really wanted you to win that table tennis match. I felt so bad at the end of it. Like,
imagine how I felt. I actually
Wow.
I believed it was going to happen towards the end. I think I wrote a Shaw who was more nervous than he gave off at the time throughout it.
Yeah.
He's shown up very confident. He takes his trousers off and he's got shorts on. He brings his own paddle. He brings his own balls, and I'm going, oh no, I'm going to get absolutely walloped here. But managed to keep it very even until the last minute, really. And if I was to ever ask him for a rematch, I think he would be ignoring that message for sure, because
Yeah, it was quite close.
yeah, that's it now. He's like, no more with that, Liam. But yeah, it was really fun.
Liam Bedford, thank you so much for coming on our show. We wish you all the best with all the things that you're going to do in this year and the next years. You are one of our favorite creators, and that's why we are so excited to have you today. Anything that you wanted to share at this point that I didn't ask you? So yeah, now's the time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having me on. That was really fun. And nothing specifically, I guess. If you've watched this and you haven't seen what I'm doing, then feel free to check out my channel. It's just my name. And yeah, really excited for the musical at the moment. That feels right here, so I'm going to mention it again. Hopefully, everyone enjoys the second musical when it's out. We're going to put a lot of work into it. We already have done, and I want it to be one of the best videos on YouTube this year, and that's the benchmark. So
We'll be there. Yeah.
Hopefully at the end of the year, people will be saying that was the video, you know.
We'll be there cheering for you. And one last ritual that we make our guests go through is to nominate anyone for our show. If you have someone in your mind, would be a great guest like you.
Yeah. I could say, I'm going to say Mr. Zach Alsop. I'm doing a lot of work with him at the moment, and he is, in my eyes, in the top 3 YouTubers in the world, to be honest. And I think he would be up for doing this, but don't hold me to that. But I'm sure he'd be up for it. But he has got some crazy good stories from content, and I'm sure you'd be very happy to hear some of those stories.
Thank you once again, Liam. We are so happy to be a tiny part of your journey now, and we're really excited for the video, the musical. Thanks again.
All good. Thank you very much.
Thank you for our audience for sticking with us. We'll see you in the next episode very soon. Bye-bye. And cut. That's it for today's episode, guys. If you really liked it, please subscribe to the 1000 Faces Club and press the bell icon below so that you don't miss any videos from us. Thank you.